Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. It's the middle of the summer. If you live in the other hemisphere, it's time to put a bit of colour on your wrist. Today it's my top 10 affordable watches that aren't black, white, dark blue or grey. Over the last few years I've seen the market and I've seen my own taste change. I still love a black dial watch, but I'm definitely more open to a bit of colour than I ever have been. And you can see this trend at all ends of the market. Even Rolex really branching out into some vibrant, bright dial colours in recent years. But this is just one more watch, so today I'm going to show you watches all under $500 US, most of them well under $500 US, that are not only bright and colourful, but also well made and fantastic value for money. I'll leave links to everything in the description of the video in the order that I show them in case you want to pick up a little bit of colour for yourself. Now, one brand that will definitely not be featuring on today's list is my own brand, Erebus watches. Despite the fact that we have from the very beginning launched every model in a vast array of different and often spectacular colours. I will not be telling you that we have a dozen different colours of the Ascent either in stock or shipping next month, because it would be completely immoral of me to spruik my own wares in such a manner, and I definitely won't be leaving a link to the erebuswatches.com website in the description of the video. Alright then, let's start with the official number one and undoubtedly the most orange watch I have ever seen. These are getting harder to find for under 500, but it can be done. It's the Bulova Oceanographer, aka the Devil Diver. Look at this dial. It is intense. It is almost radioactive in its vibrancy. It's almost like a neon orange. To be honest, I have not seen anything quite like it before or since. And not only is it a great colour, it's also a really good watch. It's a retro reissue, it has very interesting indices, a lovely fitted rubber strap, it's very wearable, very comfortable, and very, very orange. A great way to officially start the list. But what if you like orange but not quite that much orange? Well, there are plenty of milder shades of the same colour out there. One of the most affordable of which is the Casio Aquaterra, or at least that's what I and many others refer to it as, because it looks a lot like an Omega, but for $100 rather than $6,000 or $7,000. Officially, it's the EFV200. It's a really nice watch, this one, a great case shape, good size, by no means a spec monster though, that's mineral crystal, and it's a basic quartz movement. But it's a Casio, so you know it's going to be reliable for decades. And at $85 US or thereabouts, it won't break the bank if it is just a seasonal fling you're looking for. And if orange is not quite your bag, then they do this one in a range of other colours, including baby blue. Don't worry, there'll be plenty more baby blue a bit later on. Moving then sideways along the colour spectrum, one of the very best watches that I have bought and reviewed this year also happened to have one of the most colourful dials. But what exactly is that colour? Is it yellow? Is it gold? Is it yellowish gold? And does it matter? The Seiko Speedtimer Pogue is a great watch, and you don't just get that golden dial, you get a couple of other colours on the bezel insert as well. I think the larger Speedtimer wears really nicely on most wrist sizes, including mine. I've had a couple of these now. It's got a solar quartz movement, it's got sapphire crystal, the bracelet is perfectly acceptable, the lume is pretty good, and it makes an excellent daily or rotation piece. I paid about $650 Aussie for mine, so we're well under budget today. They're $500 US on eBay, but shop around, you may be able to beat that. Now, I know that my fancy camera and my fancy lenses make everything look pretty decent, but you gotta admit, that really does look pretty decent, doesn't it? Alright, one brand that has always been well known for their use of colour in their range of dive watches is Doxa. Sadly, we ain't getting even used Doxas at today's budget, but you can get a very, very high quality Doxa lookalike on AliExpress for around $100 US. It's by Seestern, it's basically a lookalike of the 600T by Doxa. It comes in all of the standard colours, but also the classic dive watch colours from the 70s, so orange and yellow, and baby blue if you prefer. These are just so good for the money. It's a good case, good bracelet, good clasp, good dial and hands, all perfectly acceptable. The lume is decent, and it even has some lovely touches like an embossed case back and loomed date wheel. I kid you not, a loomed date wheel on a watch that costs around $100 US. Or even a little bit cheaper than that if you opt for one of the stainless steel bezel inserts. So there you go, a really nice, bright, cheery summer beater diver, zero originality, but great quality for $100. And while you're all browsing AliExpress, you may as well keep browsing AliExpress for the next watch on the list today. It's the SN0116 by San Martin. These watches are really good. Stick a different brand name on them and nobody would bat an eyelid if they were $400 or even $500 and not $230. They are fully spec'd with Seiko movements on the fly adjustable clasp, the beautifully machined cases and bracelets, and a range of fruit-inspired colour schemes. Studio Underdog clearly has a lot to answer for. You can get this one in avocado green, in grapes purple, in orange, they clearly found the limits of Google Translate there, or there's a rainbow colour version if you want to show your pride on your wrist. Great watch, great specs, great finishing, great price. Moving on to red then, and for under $100 you can buy a watch that doesn't just have a red dial, it's entirely red. This was one of the original colour versions of the Casio GA2100 that were available at launch. It has a red case, a red strap, a red dial, red hands, and red indices. It genuinely could not be much redder if it wanted to be. Indeed, the hands are perhaps a little bit too red for legibility, but then again, it's still probably more legible than the all black one was. Prices on these, as mentioned, are under $100 US, and the Casio is one of the most colourful options out there for you, so if red doesn't tickle your fancy, there are plenty of other choices available. It would be remiss of me if I did not include the excellent Citizen Tsuyosa on a list like this. Not only is it arguably a better watch overall than Tissot's incredibly popular PRX, it's also cheaper than the PRX and available in a whole bunch more colours than the PRX. Not only do we have baby blue, orange and burgundy, we also have yellow like mine, purple, green, gold with red, and vertical rainbow stripes? I must admit that one has always been a little bit lost on me. Plus they released a whole bunch of different Pantone colours as well. Basically, there's a Tsuyosa in your favourite colour, you just need to look around for it. And there is a Tsuyosa within your budget as well. Prices on these from just over $200, and personally, I wouldn't be paying more than $300 for one unless it was a limited edition or a colour that I really just had to have. Okay, next up, it's a bit of a niche piece, but it's certainly a colourful piece, and it's the piece on my wrist today. It's the Maurice Lacroix Aikon Tide. Now, I bought one of these from ashford.com earlier on this year. I bought mine in bright yellow, as you can see here, and it really is a bright yellow. They're also available in orange, in baby blue, in bright pink, in bright green, or in all of those colours at the same time. Now, I began this video by referencing the European and North American summer. I've got to be honest, I haven't worn my Aikon much since I got it. I'm hanging out for the Aussie summer or for a beach type holiday before properly breaking this one out. But even with the limited wrist time it's had so far, it's definitely not a throwaway watch. It's light, but it's well made. They're made of recycled ocean plastic, by the way, hence the Tide in the name. Now, these were something ridiculous like $700 US RRP, and oddly enough, they completely bombed at that price. At 200 odd though, I reckon they're all right. It's not a watch I would wear every day, but it's a cracking, kind of bright and fun Swiss-made beater watch for a couple of $100. But if you want the ultimate lightweight beater watch to wear on your holidays and you don't want to pay $200 for it, get yourself a Casio MRW200H. These are around $25 US and are available in dozens of different dial colours. Now, if you think I'm cheating here and these are all just black watches with a bit of colour on them, okay, fair enough, point taken, but I have personally owned MRW200Hs in both bright orange and purple, so I do know what I'm talking about here. They have a day-date complication, they have 100 meters of water resistance, a bi-directional bezel, next to no weight, despite being a full-size watch at 42 millimeters. I've pitched these as the ultimate holiday watch in the past, and for the price they're charging, I think that's probably still a perfectly reasonable pitch. And finally at number 10, if you just can't decide between a yellow watch, a green watch, an orange watch, a pink watch, a blue watch and a purple watch, why not get them all in the same watch with a swatch? Swatch pretty much invented the fun and affordable, brightly coloured summer watch back in the 1980s, and they're still pumping them out by the dozen in 2025. Check out some of these late 80s, early 90s retro reissue models. They have wild colour combinations, but they don't have wild price tags. These are the official list prices from the official Swatch shop here in Australia. Most of them are floating around the 200 Aussie dollar mark. Judging by the models used in their advertising, I am clearly neither young enough nor beautiful enough to buy one of these for myself. You can decide whether you're young enough and beautiful enough to buy one for yourself. So there you have it, another top 10 list full of value-packed watches today that also happen to be bright, colourful and perfect for those warm summer months, those long days on the beach or by the pool that are currently at least 6 months away from me. If your favourite colourful specimen was not on the list today, please leave me a comment. You know I'm always looking for more watches to buy and to review. Well done for making it all the way to the end of the video. I have reviewed pretty much everything on the list today. Why not watch a couple of those reviews here or here? Thanks for watching. I'll see you over there.